Have you ever questioned your existence? Will you ever find love? Have you wondered if there are limits to human creativity? If you have asked yourself any questions of this kind, we have the answers to all your problems. All the correct paths for you.
Only kidding, dude. Let's rock!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Alpha Idiots, the show where we come at you live, but not really. But, you know, today was Hat Day, so we decided to talk about something directly after International Women's Day. And we all come at you from different parts of the land, and coming at us first with his white cap looking like he's coming out of a god-dang Dr. Seuss book. Was it discontinued? Little Jared here. How you doing there, sir?
Yeah, doing well, man. How about you, man?
I'm doing great, thank you. And we also have the Red Rum himself, Davo,
Drinking
ass.
my freshly brought back high C lava burst from McDonald's.
As everyone should be, especially the man with the pink ears and the pink wall and also that beautiful pink smile, Chris Strucker.
What's going on, y'all? Got some whiskey in a Yeti cup, having a good night.
And the newest edition, we do have one coming from the future, arguably from the Starship Enterprise. It is unconfirmed at this point. Mr. Trey, the man with the guitar.
How's it going?
Trey Guthrie.
How are y'all doing out there?
Save some pussy for the rest of us, dude.
And
That signature.
yeah, exactly. There you go. And speaking of getting said pussy, speaking of getting said attention from females, speaking of getting attention of getting ahead in life, we do
Getting
come
head?
at you
What?
at that too.
I'll say it ain't got to be in life, man. Long as you get in head.
Right.
That's
That's what I'm saying.
So we wanted to come at you with an overarching topic today that actually stems into the title of our show, as is the Alpha Idiots, Alpha Male, Beta Male. What is the difference? Who is what? Is the zebra white and striped black, or is it black and striped white? Who knows? But that's what we're here to decipher tonight. So just going off from a base level definition, we're going off of Urban Dictionary source. I'll also read the Google definition. The alpha male is the leader of a pack or herd, the dominant male, and the main source of population, which doesn't really pertain to this discussion. But it's the dominant male animal in a particular group. That's another way of describing it. And then beta male is a male is a man who lacks masculine energy and adopts feminine characteristics, often faces problems or confrontations passive-aggressively. A beta male is often taken advantage of due to his nice guy persona. Now, we can all come at this from our different social experiences of how we define these two terms. But I'll start off with Trey, because you are the newest member here. Have you heard these terms before?
Maybe.
Hey, flip your mic down.
Oh, my bad. I said mate. I said I'm pretty sure I have, but alpha and beta, but not. What'd you say? Beta alpha?
Yeah, alpha
An
and
alpha
beta.
male versus beta male.
Oh, beta male. Yeah, I haven't heard beta male.
Okay, fair enough. And I'll also put another caveat in this too, before we get too ahead of ourselves. It has not been proven in human nature that alpha and beta males actually exist. That being said, like I'm talking in their DNA as a social group, as well as just sociology study.
Is there another species that there's a physiological marker which indicates its existence?
Kind of. Wolf packs. Also, gorilla packs, gorilla families.
But
You have the alpha.
is it a physiological difference you can quantify, or is it
It's
just
usually
an
the largest.
observable?
It's usually the largest one in the group that can dominate the rest of the males in that pack. So
See, man, it's so easy to dive right into this. I've got so many
well, I mean, but
thoughts
that's
on
what
it.
I'm saying. Like this term has been introduced. I would probably say in its real form, past 5 years. Like I mean, even like we're not old men here. Like we've never heard. I don't think people have heard this
Davo
term.
just got a chub.
No, I'm being serious though. We ain't so
I'm the
fucking
oldest one here.
That's true, but I don't know. I mean, Dave, let me ask you then. Let us
All
pose
right.
this question to you.
Okay.
Before the last 5 years, have you really heard this said, like calling someone a beta, calling someone an alpha, or someone proclaiming they're an alpha? Because dudes do
Okay.
that.
So from my perspective, being in a motorcycle club, I have heard that several years ago.
Mhm.
Like, even before I joined the club, like in conversation, it would be brought up
Yeah.
about how, and even in the motorcycle community, you have alphas and you have betas,
Right.
and those that choose to join like a motorcycle club tend to be alpha males.
Mm-hmm.
And that has come up in conversation in the past.
So can you
Um,
be a beta of the alpha male group?
So in
That's
the
like a
motorcycle,
lieutenant to a
okay,
captain. Would you say?
You're like the most bitch ass real motherfucker here.
Yeah. You're a sissy man, but you're the real deal.
You know, not to interject too much while Davo's still making his point, but I can say, you know, being in the army, man, there was definitely at one point I got assigned to a unit where I came in that motherfucker a little intimidated because these was some bad motherfuckers in this unit.
right.
And there's definitely situations in the military where it's like you supposed to be one of the bad motherfuckers, but you can look around and know that like just because he's fixing to make it, don't make me feel no better that I'm gonna make it, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that, Jared, at
Yeah.
least.
So I mean, you know, with anything there is a hierarchy. It doesn't matter where you go or what you do. There is a hierarchy. Even at
True.
work, you have to answer to somebody.
Yeah.
There's times
know.
you bitch up, there's times you don't.
Well, yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah.
You know,
Sometimes you got
there's
to at work, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Keep your job.
yeah, but if you've noticed, like in a lot of situations, the person that is more alpha is going to go for that position. You don't want, for lack of better terms, you don't want a pussy as a general manager.
No, you don't
You
want a
know,
weak person as a
right?
leader. That's a given. But
Yeah.
and I found this real quick to give us a little more context of how people define this. This is Wikipedia's. This is a sociology conversation essentially. So I'm going to take
Yeah.
this with a little bit of resonance. But here's the examples of like animal groups who do have alpha males. Like I was saying, dogs and wolves, lions, apes, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans, horses, and deer. Okay.
Mhm.
And then it defines the human alpha male, quote, alpha male can also refer to a high-ranking human in a group. This may be in a business setting or sometimes in other competitive areas like sports. However, this is an extension by metaphor. Humans do not have the same mating system as the social mammals. One reason is that the new word for me, cycle in humans is different.
Common spelling.
This is a new one actually. OESTROUS. Ostrus. Ostrus?
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that
So-
word before.
Never heard that term. It is different. Real quick, I'm almost done. This has the result that females may be sexually receptive at almost any time. Also,
Yeah, but
humans generally
that's-
pair off, and alpha males do not have exclusive rights over all females in a group, except in rare circumstances. So I see
But
where this article's
everything
coming
you
from.
just said, everything you just said is
Mhm.
extremely subjective.
This
Oh
is
no,
true.
I don't
This is
disagree.
very
No.
true.
I this is what Wiki's saying, bro.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I know it's not your words, but I'm just
Mm.
saying all of that. Like that's where this whole conversation comes from. The fact that it is so subjective. Somebody could make an argument one way or the other and make just as valid of an argument the other way. There's no real like you said, it's a sociology debate, really.
It totally is. And because Jared, I mean, sorry, you just exhaled, brother. But what do you got to say on this, bro?
I mean, when I guess when I think about the term beta, like a beta male or even and let's say even beta female, okay, just for all
Well, just a
intents and
beta
purposes.
person. I mean, like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Right. When I think about that, I think about somebody who is always looking for somebody to tell him what to do.
Mhm.
Like that's what I think about. Like I think about like, like if me and you were on even a golf course, I feel like a beta person is going to be like, when do you want me to tee off?
Bro, me and
Yeah.
Jared, look, dude, when me and Jared was in high school, we had these two girls at my mama's house. We had these two girls at my mom's house, man. And there was this third guy with us. It was three guys and two girls. And long story short, me and Jared got shit popping. But the other dude that was there was like, he thought he was fixing to get in. He thought he was up on game. And then both of those girls were like, I know why his pants are undone. I know why his pants are undone. That girl straight up said, why you unbuttoning your pants?
Oh no.
Oh, but that's kind of the thing. Like, it's like you sitting around waiting for an invitation. I mean,
Well, I
you're not gonna get it.
I think part of it, I guess you could just say, to quantify what you were saying, Jared, is just initiative is not part of their DNA. It's
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like taking self-initiative, that is. Like, I mean, like, because you can take initiative at request. I mean, it's like your boss tells you, go do it, get it done.
Right.
There's a difference between that and then you just be like,
Tempo,
oh, I
yeah.
can get this taken care of myself.
Mm.
I think for me, this is like my personal experience of like this term. I personally don't believe that it exists in our DNA because we are social creatures. Don't get me wrong, but I think I would say chauvinistic and also like machismo bullshit for a guy to just straight up tell you, dude, I'm an alpha. Like imagine if some dude was like imagine you're interviewing dude for some job. He's like, so why do you think you qualify for this position? Opening, well, I'm an alpha. It's like, what the fuck is that? Like, I mean, like you just want to come through and assert dominance, like, because that's exactly what that means, at least in the nature's terms, right? Like you want to come through.
Even if
go ahead, please.
I'm just if somebody said that shit to me just instinctively with no thought whatsoever, my initial reaction would be, you ain't shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It can be such a front. Now, I mean, like you look at like really, like guys who actually like you look at MMA fighters, look at football players, like you look at guys that put their physical being on the line for whatever, like, and including veterans. This includes y'all. It's like, yo, y'all put something on the line that citizens of other professions and other focuses just don't do. So there is an inherent respect and appreciation for your ability to use your masculine in that way. Does that make sense? It's like we don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
But see, I think the fact, like, there are guys on that side of what you're talking about, though, that like think it's owed to them, like they expect it, and the inherent, like that implication that, like, if you're standing around waiting on it, that's kind of what makes you like a bitch. Like, if you, it's almost like you need validation, which immediately removes all fucking, like, as a person, if I need to decide, all right, now it's time for me to take charge of this shit, or, oh, this dude look like he know what he's doing, I'll follow his lead.
Yeah.
The moment you're like, oh, I'm owed this fucking, like, I'm an alpha, like somebody say I'm an alpha, you ain't shit to me no more.
No.
Like, what was that TV show?
Somebody who is doesn't have to say it.
Exactly. I think that was in Game of Thrones or something. Game of Thrones or Vikings. I was just watching. One of them said, like, any man who needs to say "I am the king" is no true fucking king.
That's fucking Game of Thrones right there. That was Tywin talking to his fucking grandson. Like being like, bro, you ain't shit. And we all know it. We all know it, but we can't do shit about it.
one of the things that was told to me a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was basically about being successful, was when
This
you
is-
walk into a room, don't ask if you can be a part of it. Walk into the room and own it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be the center of attention, be the king of your domain. Don't ask for it. Walk into it. Just own it.
That's a good segue for
And-
something else. Me
And
Jay-
that's, to me, that's what an alpha male is I know that I can walk into any situation in any room and I own that room.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the fact of what's going on, I own it.
Right.
That's
But
my
the
room.
thing about kids and young adults today, man, is with technology, especially in the last year, when the
Oh
way
yeah,
everything's been,
I know where you're going.
bro. There's no, back in our day when you wanted to talk to a girl, you go to a party, you just gotta damn either face the fear of striking out or damn miss out altogether. Now with like apps and fucking Tinder and Facebook and Instagram and all this other Twitter shit, there's no need to develop those skills of being able to walk into a social situation and make yourself part of it. It's like you got to wait for an invite or a like, or I don't know, man. It's just
No.
weird. Like,
I completely agree with you, Jared. Do you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I was about to kind of piggyback off him for a second, and it's like we've had that conversation more times than not. And this society is I hate to say it like this, but this society is breeding that into existence.
yeah,
Like there's no need to have the like in the technology world we live in. There's no need to have that person who can walk into a room and captivate it because before you walk in, you can, or let's say you walk in the door. You can spot somebody from across the room, find them on Instagram, find them on Tinder, find them on Facebook, find out who they are. Do they have brothers and sisters? What do they like? You know what I'm saying? Like you can find out these things
yeah.
before
You don't
ever
need to
talk
figure out how to ask these questions anymore.
Right. There's no more ab lib. There's no more like, okay, you know what? It's time for me to own it. Go up, talk to this person, regardless, and that male or female.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. And like the thing is, I mean, I've always been the guy who finds one of the key attributes of a being attracted to a woman is them having confidence. So
Yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
like if they ask you first for the number, they make the first overture, as it were.
No, I'm weak, dude. I'm putty.
That's what I'm saying. I love that. Now, that happen to me once, and she turned out to be a psycho killer? Absolutely. But like
You gotta play
have
the
to
game,
roll
man.
exactly. So, but I'll remember, and I'll be real with the show and real with y'all. I was at a bar, and the first time I did the whole write the number on the napkin thing, my hands were shaking. I was talking a mile a minute, and I was just not doing well. And they never called me. She never called me, right?
But that's
then
all right, man.
Exactly. But that's the thing. I was in the car with the homies after that, because I was part of the show that they were putting on.
Mhm.
And after the show, I was just like, man, I did all this, that, and the third. And then as time went on, I was like, don't do that. Oh, don't do that again. Oh, shit,
Yeah.
don't do that again. Because it's a sad fact that the way for many, many, many people, like many, many humans, I feel, this is a blanket statement, but I think that the way humans work and to evolve is to make the wrong decision the first time, learn from the mistake, and not do it,
Yep.
not repeat it.
And then
Right.
improve.
That exactly. Evolve from that mishap. Evolve from that flaw. Because now that, like you were saying, with the whole social aspect changing to online and more technologically focused, we are losing the inability to fully feel like you struck out before. So you don't know how to make an overture properly. You just know to say, "Hey, you like this dick," and send it to him in the Tinder DMs. Like that. That's where it's gone to, right?
Yee.
So, but in my opinion, and to bring it all full circle, and that is a beta move to me. That is an alpha, in quotes, an alpha pretending to be a beta, because I would assume that the gentleman in
You mean a beta pretending to be an alpha?
That's what I'm saying, because I
Okay.
honestly feel that the gentlemen in this chat, know that overture is inappropriate.
But is it?
9.95 times out of 10, and she ain't gonna.
Yeah.
Win. She
Yeah, I
ain't
was gonna say
gonna win.
I would go so far as to say that like sometimes that's not a bad move, but the fact like you never develop the experience to know like when when that's necessary to get what you want out of that situation. I mean, sometimes that's what you need to get that fucking snowball rolling down the hill, you know.
I mean,
Gotta
I
read the
prefer to pull
crowd.
it out in person.
That's but that's the
It
thing.
works.
It's like
It works.
Wait till
you
your ass
gotta
gets
know.
bounced and then just it's out. And then just like,
Yeah.
oh wait, hey, oh no, I got
You gotta be able to know like how to judge that situation. Like,
exactly. I mean, I mean, I'm not trying to make it more of a personal discussion of like anecdotal, but it's just like when you feel it's like the right time to give the first kiss, like shit like that. Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, you get that after you meet meet your girl for the first time over Tinder or whatever, Hinge. You feel that out. Don't get me wrong, but it's like there's this instinctual read of a room that you need to train. You need to hone that to make it work. And like what I was saying earlier, you need to make those those horrible chairs before you finally make that one that sits all four legs and she's down for it. No, I'm just playing. I wasn't trying to make no. I wasn't trying to equate women to chairs. No, I wasn't trying to.
So let me say this: you're right. You're right. You do fill it out, like even with the technology the way that it is right now. Like you do fill out that first kiss, no matter who you're talking to and what media site or where you met them.
Yes.
But there is a different filling out from a person who you see on Tinder. You swipe right or left on whichever it is, right, and then you meet up. Like you know that that's going to happen. But when you go and you put yourself in a situation where you're not. You haven't met in that fashion and you don't know true intentions and you don't know what people are looking for.
Right.
There is a different filling out of that situation that you truly have to be in tune with. Like, I feel like who you are and have to know, like you said, have to have the experience to be able to know that, because somebody who is, I would say passive, let's just use that word, who is passive will not recognize. Which is why those individuals feel that their opportunity with women, men, whichever sex you are, as far as just being a beta, isn't there, because they don't have that just instinct, I think is what it is.
Absolutely. And to bring in another definition to this conversation, this stems into a subculture of beta males. So this is the incel. Do you guys know this term?
Mm-hmm. No.
Trey, do you know this
Heard
one?
it, but I don't know it well.
No, I do not.
Chris,
I've
you know
heard
this term? You know this
Yeah,
term?
I've heard the term.
So
someone used it.
Please.
Someone used it with me ironically once, and then I googled it. And from what I understand, it's basically like a type of dude who blames women for all his problems with women.
Exactly. So to go with this is the dictionary definition here, off of Oxford Languages Google search. A member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile towards women and men who are sexually attractive. So, deciphering that, it's like what you said, Chris, is that these are men who feel like they are entitled to female encounters and sexual attraction when they don't try or they don't feel like. Let me rephrase that. Actually,
It's like that ultimate nice guy shit.
Yes, but it's like it's also like they feel like they're physically unattractive, so they can't even try. So they blame women for not even being attracted to them. But there is a distinctive difference between unattractive and staying in a. The sad fact is that first impressions are everything. Visuals matter. It's the inside that counts. I'm of that doctrine. I mean, if it's all here, this is just a bonus. I don't give a shit. Like, I mean, whatever she's got going on, as long as she's got this, I am so down. There are things I'm more attracted to. That's everybody.
Yeah.
That's men and women. That's a given. But it's like, bro, like, if you genuinely feel like, if you're gonna go on a message board, go on like some fucking subreddit and be like, yo, oh god, I'm living in my parents' basement and I'm 25 years old, never lost my virginity, and I haven't showered in 1 month, and like I have a shit bucket when I play Call of Duty and like in like Fortnite. It's like, bro, of course you're not trying shit. You're not gonna get shit if you don't try. You got to play the game, brother. It's not entitled to.
On the complete and total inverse of that, I've known guys that have been 350, 400 pounds, like 5'6", that have had some fine girlfriends. Okay, no bullshit. But they can run that mouth. They can spit that game. They ain't scared to shoot their shot.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't sit there and tell me that you're unattractive, because I've seen some motherfuckers that are straight up like morbidly
Disgusting.
obese, disgusting. That
Jared,
don't.
don't you start. That's a Gerber baby smile right there, brother. Like you should have been on catalogs. That's a
It
great
has
smile. you got.
nothing. It has nothing to do with your physical outside being.
Right. I can
Right.
agree with that.
I mean, okay, so to a certain extent, it can.
It
You're-
can.
but
It
see,
can. Oh, sorry. Please.
The
Yeah.
difference is we all understand that means, like, we're talking on the understanding that means it's possible. But
Yeah.
there's motherfuckers out here who think that because they can't pull every single thing that they might be remotely interested in, it's a problem. But like, it just don't matter what you like you're not gonna be everybody's fucking type no matter what
Right.
you do.
Right.
Let's-
But
so-
there's people out there, these people we talking about, that what's the incel?
incel. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't understand that difference. They think that like any form of rejection whatsoever is like some fucking societal fucking problem with
Precisely.
them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So-
all this bullshit.
But I mean, before you go, David, please, 1 second. I just want to say, incel means involuntarily celibate.
Okay,
So that's
there
what
you
it
go. That
means.
makes
It means
sense.
that you are like the world around you is making
Can't
it so
get
that
no
you
fucking
can't
pussy.
get pussy. And by the way, as far as I know, in the discussions that I've heard about this topic, this is all dudes. Like I have not heard women be like, "Oh, I can't get a guy," so fuck society. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't seen I haven't seen women in this kind of like taking this kind of stance towards this kind of social thing.
I mean, I have.
But I'm saying, is there a social stigma against physical attraction? I mean, for physical attraction for women and what they should look and body image? Totally. Davo, your turn.
So, it's not, I guess, trying to elaborate on earlier, it's not what you look like that makes you involuntarily celibate.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with what you look like. It's your personality. You
Absolutely.
got a shit personality, then obviously you're not going to be attractive. It goes right back to what you were saying. All this is extra. You know what I'm saying? It's
It ain't gonna
what
hurt to
you
take
are.
a shower, get a haircut, and go to
Right,
the
it
gym.
don't-
No,
it don't
but
hurt to do that.
That's basic needs, bro. That's basic care.
Right.
But your personality is what's going to attract someone.
It's very true.
I mean, just straight up. I'm 280 pounds, 6'2". I've got all kinds of scars on my belly. I got a big old pot belly over here.
Still cute, David.
I know I'm still cute, baby. I'm still cute.
Yeah, dude.
I got these dimples. You know what I'm saying?
No, everyone in this chat obviously has something, or this, I should rephrase, in this discussion, has an attribute about them that led them to be in a long-term relationship, if not marriage. I mean, like that's just
I'm
what
getting
we
out
have.
of mine, though. I'm kidding.
I know you are, man. Now, Trey, I just met you, man. I mean, what I mean, are you married, single?
Not married, but we've been together for about 11 years.
Yeah, so a
now.
long-term relationship. Okay, that's great.
Pretty much
Yeah.
married.
So
John and Trey I thought y'all been knowing each other, man.
You
We-
played games with me
Yeah, we
and
played
Trey.
games.
that was
before.
way
Okay.
ago. Yeah. Okay. So it's been a
Yeah.
minute since we caught up. All right, I got
Yeah.
you though. I got
Gotcha.
you. Yeah. But I've never seen you. I saw you in a music video, but
Oh, yeah.
I've never been in like a video chat with you, man. But yeah, so I was just curious because being beta or alpha, it doesn't fully stem to sexual attractions and relationships. Because like you were saying, Chris, when you're in the armed forces, I mean, I wish I had my dad to talk about this too. He's 22-year Marine, retired, lieutenant colonel.
He's a fucking asshole, ain't he?
He could be, he can be, but over the years he softened up, and he is a very, very charismatic, charming guy. You want to talk about Davo? I'm telling you, want to talk about that guy that walks in the room and instantly commands everyone's attention?
Uh-huh.
It rubbed off on me. No, I'm just playing.
Hell
No,
yeah.
no, but he definitely has that though, for real. Like, and so I could totally see that, but it's a little different because there is an instant visual and uniform hierarchy of tradition, respect, and obedience. Whereas in like a workspace, there definitely is a hierarchy. But I mean, if you're just working some Joe job at like fucking Outback Steakhouse, and your assistant manager is just a guy who doesn't know how to lead a fucking red flyer wagon from a battleship, like he does, if he doesn't know what's going on, then you don't have to respect his ass. You don't have to listen to his shit because he's doing a shit job. And you can call him out on it. But in the military, try and do that in my house. Like, I mean, like just in my own home life, man. Like back when I was a kid. But like, seriously, I think it's just slightly different. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a different attribute of that alpha and beta.
Right.
Because you do have to listen. A private has to listen to corporal, even as close together as they are in experience in years.
Yeah, but bro, if you, I'm telling you, man, I've seen E4s with combat patches on their right arm that you can look. They got chest candy. Like, you can tell these motherfuckers are only E4s because they got a DUI, got arrested for fighting, or like some, whatever the case is. They're not still a E4 because of their lack of experience or leadership training. I mean, you'd be E4 with fucking been to BNOC. I mean, most of y'all probably don't even know what that is, but like any vets listening, prior military, like, it's guys that are qualified to be E6s and E7s, and they might be a E4. And then you got these fucking E7s that chose MOSs that come in and just make it through real fast, got college degrees, whatever, fucking slick sleeve, no combat patch, ain't been to airborne school, sniper school, none of that shit. And they come in and think they're going to tell these fucking E4s that been deployed 5-6 fucking times how things are.
Right.
Age, rank, none of that shit. You're not fixing to tell a guy who's been to war 3 times how to PMCS a vehicle just because you got a different fucking shape on your chest because you got higher rank. It just, even when there's like that corporate structure, like what you're talking about, you could be a perfectly respectful employee, staying in your lane, staying in your place, not being disrespectful, and still just let a motherfucker know that, like, you ain't shit compared to me. And it's just about how you carry yourself, man. How you do what you know is supposed to be done, and like, you just not with the bullshit.
Well, I don't know. Just real quick, who here has seen the movie Glengarry Glen Ross? Who has seen this
I
movie?
ain't even heard of that.
Coffee is for closers. ABC
Oh, yeah.
always be
Oh, yeah.
closing.
That's from the boiler room, ain't it?
No, this quote that I know it from is just from Glengarry Glen Ross. And
Ben Affleck in the boiler room ripped that shit off.
He probably did because
I think, let me Google it.
Well, because it was actually Alec Baldwin who it was a play on Broadway, then they adapted it to a film. Amazing cast. But if we're going to talk about the difference between an alpha and beta, that movie it doesn't explicitly say it, but it's like in the personality traits of a salesman and in a corporate structure, this movie is alpha beta dynamic. Where like you have like the top grossing fucking salesman who's played by Al Pacino. You can totally tell he is the guy who commands your attention. But what's so cool is that when he like isn't doing the salesman side of things, he isn't a dick. He's not just an open asshole who's going to treat his coworkers like, I'm the best, I'm the biggest shit in the room, fuck all y'all. He actually listens and respects his coworkers. And like, but versus other people in the room, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, it's Al Pacino, Kevin Spacey, pre gross human being, Alan Arkin.
God, it was so unfortunate.
I know. What's that again?
It was so unfortunate to find out he was a fucking creep, man.
Dude, I know.
Like, otherwise, totally cool fucking
I know,
guy.
because his body of work is second to none in terms of his performance level and his ability to command presence on screen. But anyways, it's a great film. Anyone who's watching, anyone here actually, if you can get your hands on it to watch it, Glengarry Glen Ross, it's an amazing film. Absolutely amazing.
I may be confusing the scenes because I've definitely seen the scene you're talking about, but they're either I'm mixing up the scenes or Ben Affleck ripped it off. But there's a scene in Boiler Room where he's like, anybody tell you money is root of anybody that tells you money is a root of all evil doesn't fucking have any. They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
Oh, that is Boiler Room for sure. Because like it's like it's Alec Baldwin, and he's like top seller gets like the top salesman of this quarter gets a Cadillac, like and like it's like those come in second place, set of steak knives.
Hell yeah.
It's like and it's like, you see this watch? I could buy your car with this fucking watch. It's like it's a Rolex and that kind of shit. Like he totally, it's like one of those like motivational, but like basically drill sergeant in your face, get your shit together kind of thing. But that's a film that really talks about that very well. But anyways,
I think that's a good way to, honestly, man. I just being for real, being in sales for as long as I have been.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think a beta is going to be a salesperson.
So
too much rejection.
So here's. Oh, sorry. Please, Trey. Please. Oh, what shop?
So you should work at a tattoo shop.
Oh,
you made a wide variety of characters, man.
You'll pierce there.
You'll pierce man.
So I'll say this much. So I've been in sales a lot of my life. Not now. I don't work that kind of job right now. But when I did, I worked at a corporate company. I worked from being a temp to fulfillment to QA, push to sales. I wanted to be in marketing, but they put me in sales. Okay. So that was a situation where I completely felt out of my depth in terms of just like I was a freshwater fish put in a saltwater aquarium, where like I just wasn't. I was put there. I was given no tools of success. I was given no ability and no no path to show how this corporate situation works. By that time, I'd worked at the company for a year and a half, but they had never, ever given me any tools to succeed in that department. Now, conversely, I know it's a whole different structure. I left that company, and on the floor, I got hired at Lucky Brand Jeans. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Quality shit. They're going bankrupt, unfortunate.
We got a pair of Lucky Brand boots.
You left.
Yeah, it's. Wait, how much would you say?
I've got a pair of Lucky Brand boots.
Oh,
I like Lucky Brand. Yeah.
I got this jacket is Lucky Brand. I got that when I worked there. Shit, 75% off employee discount. It turned out to be a $30 jacket. It was marked down from like $128 or something like that. It was awesome. But here's the thing: when I started working there, they gave me the training, the tools, and the guidance to be successful. Because the way I see it, management, you have management, but your employees below you should be an extension. They should be the fingers to your palm of power. Give all the knowledge that like most of the knowledge that you have, the management does, and imbue them with that knowledge to give the knockout punch of a sale. All right,
bro, you sound like Brennan at the fucking Catalina wine mix. You're talking about going to work for Enterprise because they give you boost
to succeed. No, but that's right, man. I'm dead serious. It's like because when I worked there for I think 6 months, no 8 months, excuse me. Now we had our lulls and shit, but I'm not kidding you. 3 out of those 8 months, top salesman, right here. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's because I was selling a product I believed in. That other company was a great product too. Don't get me wrong, but my coworkers helped each other. We were a unit, and we wanted to succeed. At that corporate thing, sink or swim, bitch. They fired me. Now, I made some killer sales. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I underperformed. It's just management and I didn't see eye to eye on some shit. Let me tell you that. So it's like, in that position, I felt like I was a beta in that corporate situation. But when I was supported, that's when I felt like I didn't walk in there and I was like, I'm the top guy. Fuck y'all. But I was like, I know I can sell because I know this product and I know what I'm doing. Because
fuck that. I walk in every situation. I'm the top guy. Fuck y'all. You prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. Go ahead, John.
Chris, you were that guy at that chair with the sign that says "Prove me wrong" with the cup. Like,
fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
But
I watched him yesterday.
I don't know if that's like an alpha beta like argument or like situation, but it's something where I feel like if the company environment imbues you with the ability to succeed, you will succeed if you have the right know-how and attitude. So I felt
that's the part we're talking about, really.
Yeah. I mean,
the
you need that,
behavioral
yeah.
part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely need that within yourself. But I mean, I made it happen because I felt like I could, and they wanted me to. At that other
Yeah.
company, they didn't give a shit. They let me fucking. Oh my god, real traumatic
I,
experience.
I'll agree with you and say that basically, yes, your explanation for that. You got a support team, a good support team. You're going to do better than you will somewhere that just everybody's out. You know, you're just a fish in a pond.
Yeah.
I actually
Um,
want to reinforce that. In my belief, an alpha wants to see everyone around them succeed, whereas a beta wants to see everyone else around them fail in order for themselves to succeed.
But that's
Damn,
the
that's deep,
double-edged
dude.
side of this shit
I
because
feel that.
yeah,
that's what makes a good leader for sure. But the type of people who don't even put that much thought into it just think that like no matter what situation they're in, they're just like for man, it sounds so cringy to even say these words when like quoting someone. But somebody that comes in and is like, oh, I'm an alpha. That ain't the type of motherfucker that gives a shit how well anybody else is doing.
Exactly.
Period.
But that person also is not an alpha.
That's my
Yeah.
point. That's what I'm saying.
So I mean, like and it goes exactly, Dave. I think with what you're saying of seeing others succeed. Because think about it from like the animal perspective. Okay, so you have the wolf pack, you have the orangutan family, got all that shit. Okay, of course, there's the leader, but of course, there's a pecking order of who gets what after they get a kill.
Right.
But everyone needs to be fed because the leader is only
Right.
as strong as the pack that follows.
Right.
Yes.
That's why it's a fucking chevron, man. You got the point; it all follows from there. But it
You know,
all
it used
leads
to be
that
upside
point.
down.
I know exactly. Female, male. That's a whole.
I was at my buddy's the other day, and he's got a bunch of chickens. He's got like 30 chickens. He got one rooster, and he said at night that rooster would go out there and rush all the chickens up to the house, and then the ones that are still scattered out, he'll go up and peck them one at a time, and one at a time they'll go and sit in the house. And he says it's the same order every night. It's pretty crazy.
See,
That's interesting because we got
That's wild,
chickens.
isn't it?
We had I think at the peak we had I think like 15-ish chickens and
good lord, how were those omelets?
yeah,
Jesus,
it's pretty cool. But I think at the most we had it was like 15 chickens and 2 or 3 roosters and bro, both the roosters all they wanted to do was just gang bang the fuck out of the one chicken like dead ass.
Run a
Yeah,
train.
one
Run a
rooster
train.
is all you need.
Oh man, yeah, it's a real interesting dichotomy of at least how people want to be perceived by others. Because like we were just saying and joking, is like if you really want to walk in the room and say I'm the alpha of this outfit, it's like imagine if we were playing like COD together and it's like one of us is like, no, follow my lead 100%. Whatever you do, I'm gonna like if you don't follow me, I'm gonna chew your ass out. It's fucking video
I mean,
game,
Jared kind of be like that though when he's I want to be the group leader. He got to have that little. He's got to have that little crown next to his name.
If
he'll
you,
be bent out of shape all night.
If you, in gaming at least, I mean, in competitive gaming there is a team captain. I mean, in competitive fights there's a team captain. In every single sporting event there is a team captain, but it's not due to the person asserting themselves, claiming to be themselves. It's you earned that shit because someone else saw your talent. Yeah. It's like someone has to make the call to put you in that position. You don't walk like I mean, it's in every.
Yeah, like tonight,
sorry,
like tonight, I literally just called you team captain.
Oh yeah,
well, yeah. John comes on and we're playing Call of Duty. Hey man, hey John, what do you want to do, buddy?
Bro, John is saved. John's phone number is saved in my phone as Warzone Jesus.
Oh my! Praise be. Yeah. Honestly, it's like every situation you walk in, you're gonna be deemed whatever title they see you fit to be. I mean, like that's just what happens. It's like due to your personality, due to everything rubbing off, you go in for that job interview. You're either fit or unfit for that role, but someone else has to make that call. So you fit into that role, and how you fit into that role is dictated upon your own actions and attitude. So it's like if you want to be better than that shit, be good, perform well, get that fucking promotion, or start your own business. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like it's what you want to do.
There's guys that reject that though. Like, say you know, like I hate to keep using this reference because it gets kind of old, but I like in the army or just anywhere where you're in a group of people, especially strictly males, like you might have the guys you're with, your platoon, your squad, whatever, your friend group, like they decide to bestow upon you a nickname.
Yeah.
Like you might not like that fucking nickname, but
Oh yeah, Warzone Jesus right here. Yeah.
right, okay, but like for example, the more you try to reject it, like the harder it's gonna stick.
Yes.
But
Right.
at the same time,
Don't
if
reject it.
if it's yeah, be proud, own that shit, dude. But like the more you try to reject the fact that like you don't feel like the leader, you don't feel like you're some sort of fucking I'm the alpha male type shit, the more you feel the need to validate, like get people to tell you, yeah, you're in charge, the further away from it you get. Like you're not gonna ever get that respect from your peers by just trying to insist that you deserve it. Like it's not gonna happen.
Well, okay, so on that same token, you know, I've learned the guys that don't want to be in charge, like that really know what the fuck,
Best leaders.
tend to be the best leaders and tend to be the alpha male. Like, really, you're gonna make me be in charge again?
Yeah.
All right, fuck it, here we go. You know,
Oh.
all right.
See, I've
You know,
always, like I was saying earlier, I've been in sales for a while, and I've always like, there's
Jared,
not.
Jared.
Hey, you shut up.
1 second. 1 second. I just got one thing to say. That's why Bran made the best king.
Man, we can
Shut
talk
your
about it
mouth.
another time. Shit.
We're not doing this. So,
I'm lost.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So like I've been in sales for a long time. And there's not one sales job that I've ever had that I've done bad at ever. And 9 times out of 10, I always go in first month. I fill out the whole situation. I get to know everybody. I kind of learn what they're good at, what they're not good at, what, where their strengths are, where whatever. But then even with me being friends with everybody, and as I start to succeed, you end up hated when you're good.
You got friends?
Barely.
Right.
Barely. Barely. But you end up hated when you're good.
I can see
you really do. Barely. But
Barely.
but you do. You end up hated when you're good. I mean, I've every place I've ever worked at, like, I'll try to go in and befriend everybody real fast. That way there's no hard feelings when I do succeed. Not that I'm trying to put right. They took her job. No, but anyway. But
you do look mildly Hispanic.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, like, so I try to befriend everybody. That way nobody does get mad when I do succeed. But there's not a sales job that I've had that I have not been at the top at some point for several months.
Oh, whoa! Did we lose Jared there?
No.
Oh, okay.
That
no,
was the end. Everybody
it
just
it
like
went
was
real-
listening.
Yeah, I was like,
I'll give you this, man. Is I've known Jared longer than I've known anybody else in this conversation. Was it been a good 10 plus years at least? The motherfucker is disgustingly persistent. I mean, disgustingly
Ain't he though?
persistent.
Annoyingly.
Fuck yeah! Like it'd be like, fuck this. I'm blocking this motherfucker's number.
oh my
Like
god.
I feel bad, and I
Well,
know,
you still
I
don't.
ain't got,
That's the
I ain't
beauty
got
of
a motherfucking thing he wants, and he gets on my goddamn nerves.
Guess how this podcast started? That annoying son of a bitch
Yeah.
right there just wouldn't let it go.
The white cap.
I'm trying to tell
He just
you,
wouldn't
dog.
let it go.
But you know what? Everybody's enjoying it, right? So you, and the new guy.
I'm just in my magic spaceship. So
Yeah, dude. Holodeck, motherfucker. Yeah, dude. It's really interesting because persistence does have a side in asserting oneself and their desires, but it's also that ability to read when it is genuinely unwanted. That persistence.
Oh yeah, for
There's
sure.
a big difference because that's what led to the whole fucking Me Too shit. It's like
Jared,
dudes making.
he's trying to tell you I'm for real when I tell you stop fucking calling me.
Tenfold.
That's what he's trying to say. Like, chill
Yeah.
out. Let it go.
Oh.
Let it go.
No,
Just can't help it. But no, man, for real, we need to get up tomorrow. No.
Oh no, I do. I have your watch. I do have your watch.
Good.
So I need to get up with you at some point and give you that.
Tenfold.
Yeah, man. I mean, is there? I think that's a great place to end it, guys. Actually, anyone else wanted to add on this topic or anything to sign off with? I mean, any dating advice for those out there?
We hadn't heard much from Captain.
He has a name,
yes.
motherfucker. He
I know,
has a
Trey.
name.
I know.
Captain Trey. That actually sounds pretty cool.
Sometimes it's my name. Sometimes.
I mean, is there anything you wanted to add on this one, boss?
I mean, I think you guys covered it.
Fair enough.
Check mark.
Exactly.
He's like, well, shit. Everything I wanted to say, y'all said.
Yeah.
He would have said it in sing-song form anyway. So I mean,
Yeah. Like I'm in Catholic church.
Exactly. And the alpha beta. That's what it was. Absolutely. How about you, Chris? Is there anything you wanted to add? Because we were just talking earlier about you come from a really different professional perspective on this issue.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could look at it. The thing I think is most frustrating about trying to argue with someone who really fucking like makes decisions based on this shit. Somebody who buys into this concept so much that they really think that like it dictates how they live their life based on things they can't control.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that you buy into it almost tells somebody who doesn't everything they need to know about you. Like you think this shit matters. It don't at all.
Imagine if you're on a first date and like I don't know, somehow she finds out you have a Reddit and you're one of the biggest contributors on the incel subreddit or something like that. Imagine if she saw that.
Exactly.
She'd be like, well, mister.
That's kind of like the biggest turnoff right there.
Exactly.
She gonna go home from that date with you and text me and tell me all about it the few minutes that she can talk.
Exactly. He checked himself to the restroom for a moment. How about you, Dave? You got anything going on?
So, I mean, I guess we pretty much established, I mean, at least in my perspective, that yes, there is an alpha and yes, there is a beta type male.
And at least for me, for my closing argument, I mean, respectfully, I disagree with Davo. I don't think there is an alpha and beta. And I'm looking at this from an actual sociological and also genealogical side of this. It's like we don't have that in our nature, but people assert themselves into that kind of role or title. And
on that note, before we close it out, that's another closing thought I think I have on that is like it's almost arbitrary how much of this is like it's so subjective it becomes arbitrary because how much of it is like comparative to other species who have a physiological marker that you can quantify and observe and put your finger on it and say, yes, this here exists, or no, this here doesn't exist, versus how you observe behaviors. Because you might observe a behavior in a group of humans that you say, oh, yeah, that's for sure concrete evidence. Look, I'm right. And I could, just based on how I perceive things, observe the exact same behavior and be like, see, you're full of shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, please.
I mean, I just wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say that this is. It's so ambiguous and arbitrary. I don't even think that you and Davo could really, in a valid way, disagree or agree because it's like it's just so subjective. It's so arbitrary that it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably show him instances of where, yes, there is a difference between a beta and a alpha, and then he could probably show me instances where in those same two people that no, there's no difference between them.
It's circumstantial or something.
Yeah.
It's
all circumstantial evidence, I guess you could say, which doesn't make a case.
I guess I have to agree with Chris more than it's all circumstantial.
I suppose. And Jared, I don't know if I checked in with you yet. Did you have any final thoughts, bud?
it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but I might open up Pandora's box.
Oh no! Right as we're closing out.
If you guys, I don't know what kind of time y'all are on, man, but I'm in here. I know it's almost midnight over here on the East Coast, but
Is it really? Holy
Yes,
shit.
it's 9:00. No, but we're coming up on an hour. That's why I was like, all right, we
got
said
you.
our piece. We got us, dog.
So
I mean,
maybe later we can follow it up with a part 2. But I
no,
would
yeah,
say
yeah.
that so where the subjective is correct, circumstantial is correct. I think we more when you talk about alpha and you talk about beta, I say you have to go with where the term is more validated in the sense of today's society and say there is truly a beta complex,
Oh,
right?
it's an interesting thought.
Versus a beta person. I think it's a complex more than it is
Something
an
that's
actual,
learned
like,
through the environment around you.
yes, because of the tools and instruments that we're exposed to.
You're
so you mean it's one of those things that, like, if it works for what you want, like if having that belief works for you, it's too easy not to just be like, oh yeah, this is why, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Well, guys, that's a cliffhanger for part 2. We will definitely call that. We'll call it Alpha versus Beta, and the part 2 will be called Charlie. On that, we're always looking for some guy named Charlie. On that note, folks, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bro, don't get Jared started, man. He can quote that movie like from fucking like the dialogue.
He can tell you all kinds of shrimps.
Yeah, in Vietnam, we always used to say, "Peace out."
Like bumps.
Later, everybody.
Later.